Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Base Taste. This is episode number 3, number 2.
Yeah, number 2. The original number 2 got deleted into the abyss. It's gone.
Yeah, there's a hidden tape somewhere out there with episode 2, but I guess this is the new
It's like
episode
on a
2.
server somewhere that we can't access.
Somewhere in space, floating.
So,
Okay,
Martin, you wanted to watch the show. Why did you want to watch the show?
because it's my favorite anime of
Is
all
it?
time. Yeah,
When you're talking to me in private, you said it's like, oh, it's like an 8. But now it's your
it's an
favorite.
8, but it's still my favorite, even if it's an 8. Like I reckon, that compared to some other ones, maybe it's not the best, like in terms of like quality.
I
But
don't get that.
to
If something
me,
was my
it's
favorite,
amazing.
it would just be a 10 automatically just because I like it.
That's just like saying, "Oh, my favorite team is the one that's winning."
That's not true. What?
Yeah.
How does that even similar?
Oh, it's a 10 out of 10. So I like anime. It's like no, if it
What?
has enough charm to you, then you should be able to be like, yeah, I like this team.
That doesn't make sense, though.
It's like otherwise, why would anyone go for like a team that just sucks? Why wouldn't
Why are
everyone
you
just be
talking about
going for the
baseball?
team?
We're talking about anime.
I never said baseball.
No, you're just talking team sports. You know what I mean? No, but like if I like a show and it's like, oh, this is my favorite, I'm gonna call it a 10 out of 10 just because I like it.
Well, yeah,
Even
but to a certain extent, I have to analyze it and be like, well, yeah, it could work on some things, and
But
it
yeah,
was made in a
I'm not
long.
saying something's flawless if I call it 10 out of 10. All I'm saying is that I enjoyed it a lot.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is like you're just looking at it and being like, okay, it needs some work around the edges. It's like it's a little rough, but you still like it, you know? Like you say Fudo.
What about you, say Fudo?
Doesn't he like take like trash cards and like he makes them into good cards or something like that?
That's like when he's in prison.
Yeah, well, maybe you should go to prison for not liking Bucket's test.
I like Baka to test, just I don't think it's all that good.
Okay, well,
I think it's alright.
why is that, Miguel? Go ahead.
Okay, I wrote down some notes. Let me hear that paper. Okay, number 1. Characters are largely boring and the battle system is shit. Literally big number win.
Is that it? That's your big
That's
note?
one of my reasons. That's number 1. So let's start from there, I guess. Characters are boring. Most of them are just generic anime archetypes. And there's like literally nothing deeper with them, which would be fine if it was just pure comedy. Like, don't even really think that hard about it. It's just like, haha, goofy, like Konosuba. But no, they try to have like big emotional moments, but it's like these characters are literally fucking nothing. Why are you trying to make them emotional? You bitch. And the battle
like you said, yes, it's a comedy.
Yeah.
So it's not really meant to be taken so seriously.
No, it is though, because there are emotional moments. They try to have like big anime, like epic, like.
Yeah, but in those serious scenes, they're usually brushed off with like a gag at the end, and they're like, what?
That's not entirely true. You can't see no.
Like like in all of those serious scenes, quote unquote, like only some of them
the
end
musical,
in like
they play the piano music, and then because like at the top, what do you mean?
That happens like once or twice. Most of the time, they're ended off with a goof. Most of the time, end up with a goof, and like it's like nothing happened. It's like cartoon-like consequences. Like the next day, it's just like, oh, that happened.
That's not true. They have a whole arc. The final arc in the show happens just because like they're just like my emotions serious. They've hurt my pride, my friends. Like that's the whole reason they have the wars is because like they're trying to be serious and like, oh man, there are real stakes involved in this, but truly they're not really.
I mean, they do almost die.
No, they don't. What?
Yeah.
Oh, near the end. Yeah, you're right. Near the end, but that's like that was an element added later. It wasn't like
intentional.
Yeah, that wasn't intentionally what they were planning. That was just.
I'll kill them with the bell, and then we'll win.
That bell shit's stupid. How did they move that?
He punched the wall, which apparently knocked down the bell because it was unstable. That didn't make too much sense to me, but I guess whatever anime logic.
Oh, as we're talking about avatars, avatars kind of suck as a battle system. It just
as a battle system, yes.
As a battle system, yes.
It was pretty sweet to have little chibi versions of themselves. It was kind of cute. It was kind of cool. It was kind of cute. It was cool. It was interesting. I really enjoyed that.
Like if they could do anything, but All they're used for is like battling, except for I guess the main characters. But
I mean, because that's the function of the school, Fumizuki Academy, to make
but
the
like as a
avatars
battle
just
system,
that.
it's stupid though because it's just literally big number win all the time.
Well, later on, it's shown that
they try to do something. They try to do something where it's just like, oh, but we could control it better, so we can hit you. But for most of the show, it's just big number win.
Prior to us recording this, I was checking out the Baka test Reddit, and spoiler alert, someone was talking about the light novel, and basically what's shown is that what's trying to be portrayed is like big number doesn't win always, because later on it just changes. For the most part in the show, yes,
we're
big
not
number
talking about
win.
the light novels. We're talking about season 1, and in season 1, the battle system is just literally big number win. If you just have a score, you
until
just
the
win.
end. Until the end.
Until the end, where they add an extra element, but really it doesn't matter.
I mean, it's not like they added it. It's just that it existed because of the like things that happened that predispositioned them to be able to, use their.
I know, but it just doesn't matter. Like their strategy that they come up with, it just ultimately doesn't matter because of the bell. So it's like whatever. Number 2, romance sucks. This is a romantic comedy. The romance in it is like literally the worst part. Because it's also like they take that part seriously where it's like, I gotta go with the love letter, blah blah blah. They don't resolve it by the end of the season. Like we never even get to see the girl give.
What do you mean the love letter was serious?
It was serious.
They made it into a joke when she was trying to get someone.
Like the guy, he got it, and he's like, "Your love letter is so stupid, haha, gay." And then the main character does a big emotional moment because of it.
She gave it to him, and he opened it, but it wasn't the love letter. It was like pictures of him in the cosplay.
That was different. That was a different scene. What are you talking about?
No,
she never gave him the love letter.
No, she never gave it to him, but she did give it to him. Like she gave it, like thinking it was the love letter. Like in her head, she was like, "Yeah, this is a love letter."
I don't remember that happening.
That did happen.
That happened?
Yes.
That's stupid.
She was like, "Here, this is for you,
Aki." But the
Aki."
love letter is like a thing that's brought up really early on in the show, and it's like carried along through the season, and it's not resolved by the end of the season. I don't even remember if it's resolved in the second season. I don't even know if they bring it up.
I mean, if I win, we'll find out.
Yeah, because we'll have to rewatch that. But no, but the romance element, it sucks, but just because these girls, I just don't like them. I don't think they're. I don't think they're very cute.
It's a 10-year-old anime, so all the stereotypes or like archetypes are like.
Yeah, but these are like the most basic bitch archetypes ever.
Well, it was popular then. I think it's okay because it was popular. Everyone assumed that
shows during that time that have more interesting characters that are just anime archetypes, even.
Yeah, but this is like a feel-good show.
It's not feel good though. What do you feel good by? What's there to feel good
funny.
by? It's funny sometimes. That's okay. Let's pause on the negative and go to the positive for a little bit. The show is funny at times.
At times, okay.
At times, that's why I think it's 6 out of 10. Just because relatively it looks okay.
6 out of 10. Funny
sometimes. Yeah, 6 out of 10.
You what?
Yeah, 6 out of 10.
Okay, all right. Wow.
Like I said, I don't think it's bad, but I just like you're calling it like a modern masterpiece, a modern miracle.
I didn't say that.
The Unkunstwerk of anime, and
I didn't say that.
You say that every day of your life. You talk
every day of my life.
Every single second of your life.
No. Look, it's 10 years old. A lot of archetypes are obviously going to be very outdated.
That's not even during the time that was already dated. Like you think those archetypes already existed in 2010. They've already been done to death.
Yeah, but like at that point, everyone was like, "Oh, I want to have these characters in my show."
That's not an excuse. You could have made them
interesting. And even then, by that time, it's not like the anime was made.
Dude, like, Asuka's an infinitely better tsundere, and she was like one of the first popular ones, at least. Bitch, it's not an excuse.
It's because they were trying to do something else. Like this is a comedy. You have to keep that in mind. Like if she's a tsundere, she's supposed to be like a dumb tsundere.
Yeah, but it's not just a comedy though. They try to have these serious emotional moments with these characters, yet they're paper thin, and it doesn't work.
And then because they brushed it off with.
They don't brush them off. What are you talking about?
Look,
whole arcs revolve around these moments.
She likes him.
Yeah.
But she tells him stuff, and like she tells him while she's hurting him. Like how she always puts him in like chokehold.
Yeah, she's a super.
Or like, she puts him in like positions where like his like joints are about to snap.
Yeah, so?
And right before he actually says anything that she wants him to say, he like breaks his arm.
Those are
or
the
someone
serious
comes
moments
in.
I'm talking about. If you watch the show, it's pretty obvious when the serious moments happens. They have like the music, play the piano, it gets quiet. You know,
Well,
it's
that's a goof though, because it's like,
That's
oh, it's so
not goof.
serious,
What
and
do you
then like they
mean?
say something dumb. Like what's it
You're
called? I don't
stupid,
know.
dude.
Episode
You're
8. No, it might be episode 10 actually,
Episode
where Akihisa is caught with Minami's photos, and she's like, "Oh, why didn't you tell me?" And he's like, "Oh, I thought it was Hideyoshi because it's a goof. It's supposed to be a goof." And you can see the piano. You can hear the piano. It was super serious, but it's because it was like building up to a goof. It's not meant to be taken seriously.
A lot of moments are though. I disagree completely.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot of the like when they put on the piano, like a lot of those moments are meant to be taken seriously. Like what's the episode with the fucking yandere and the guy? Like that whole like ending part where it's where those two couples are making fun of them. That whole part is supposed to be taken seriously, and it's total shit.
Okay, that was a serious episode, but why is it like that?
Why is it like that? Because they're
Yeah,
trying to
why do
have
you think it's
emotional
shit?
moments
No, why do you
in
think
the
it's shit
show.
though?
Because they're trying to make the romance be like, see, this is emotion, human
Okay,
feeling.
why is it shit though?
It's shit. Like I've been saying, because these characters are paper thin, and I don't think they work with these emotional things because they're fucking nothing. They're dirt. They're meaningless. They're comedy characters. They're. I don't think it suits them to have these emotional moments. It's not like The Simpsons. The Simpsons did have emotional moments, but like they're far few in between. And also, they're just better written characters. Like if these characters were better written and they had like multidimensional personalities to them, even if they were comedy, it would have worked better. Like in Angel Beats, like even though largely they are comedy characters in a lot of scenes, they do have like, oh, these are my fears, this is how I die, you know, blah 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 blah, tragedy, whatever. So they feel.
That's because like the theme of Angel Beats is literally like, oh, we died.
I'm
It's
talking
not
about
like
the
these characters
writing.
are dying.
Hard. I'm giving an example.
She's just like, what it's trying to show is, hey, he cares about her, and obviously he's trying to show like, oh, he cares
Yeah, but
about
also
her,
it
even
doesn't
though
make
he just,
sense. It doesn't make sense.
they were
Doesn't
just trying to
make sense.
build up the romance between them and her.
Yeah,
Because
but it's badly done.
okay, fine.
It's badly done.
You win. Okay, it was badly
I
done.
win.
Whatever. Like I'll let you have that, even though I disagree, but whatever.
Why do you
It's
disagree? Well, why do you think it's done well?
why because it's like a whole like, hey, this girl has liked him for a long time, and he's like, hey, I'll stand up for you, even though I don't particularly want to be with you. It's not
Even though
really like
I do
a
think they end
full
up together.
romance.
It is romance though.
I mean, not in the view of
Also, that
the
whole
guy
premise
of
makes no
Ryuji.
sense. I don't get why any of the people helped her get with him. Like I don't know what they stand to gain from that.
That was confusing,
It
but
makes
I
sense.
guess it's like, oh, girl like guy, so like obviously
I
they're gonna
guess.
try
I
their
mean,
best.
I guess those two girls did have like a joke where they're like, "Oh, that's so beautiful." So I guess it makes sense why they would do that, but why would the main character?
Then
I don't
again, the
know.
character did give the amusement park tickets to her.
I don't know.
Like it was confusing, but he did do that. So it's like, if you're doing all that, then I guess it's not too out of the ordinary for you to help out at the park itself.
I
But like
guess. Also, I was
the
confused.
want
Like,
to
did
do it
they
in the
run the
first
whole park?
place. What?
How did they get control of that whole amusement park?
That isn't explained.
Yeah, they just kind of have
That's just
control
never
over it.
explained. It's never brought up.
Weird. As a romance series, I just don't think it's done well. Like, I think like Love is War, and I'm like, oh, that's a cute couple. These are cute characters. I want to see them get together. But in this show, I don't even care if they get together. Like,
Okay, let's look at
okay.
description
I will
of
say
Baka to test. Just look at
it's a rom.
a bit.
What?
Okay, let's just look at the media right here.
What?
Yeah, Baka to
I will say
test.
that the only like emotional moment that like was good. Also, like the thing with emotional moments, I think they like it's too much of a contrast between the comedy and just like okay, not take this part seriously. But also they're too long, I would say. But the only emotional moment that worked because it was just like a short little thing, and it was built. The episode was pretty much building up to that. and also the character I think is just better than everyone else. Is the I talked to you about it. It was like the episode with the sister where she's introduced and then she's trying to cook.
Yes. I
Yeah.
see.
Because I would say, like, even though she's not like a bastion of depth or anything, she is like at least something. Where she at least, besides like being like a pervert, she has a brocon, more accurately describes her. She also has like that philosophy and stuff like that. You know, she has like more depth than like most of the other characters, I would say. And that's
Okay.
why I think that emotional moment at the end worked a little better because you understand like her mindset when it comes to trying and stuff. Also short, which helped. Oh yeah, Martin, did you ever find out? Because I remember I talked to you and I was like, how do they even summon the avatar? How does the summoning avatar work? Because I thought like it was technology in the school, and episodes later would confirm this. But there was an episode, I think episode 3, where they're like on a road and the main character needs to summon his avatar, and a teacher's there. So, and then he's like, "Oh, can you let me summon my avatar?" And then he does. I'm like, "What? How could he do it at school?" And this was not before they introduced like the armband
Yes.
thing. So I was really confused. Like, do teachers have that then? But then when they introduced the armband thing, it's like, oh, this is like a new thing. So like, did you ever find
That
out?
I have no explanation to that. I'm not gonna lie to you. That I know you told me prior to even watching this show when we were deciding on making this series. Like you told me something about that, and I'm like, wait a second. So I was on the lookout for that, and when it happened, I just tried to wrap my head around like the explanation for this, and
They
like the
just don't
only
give
thing I
one.
could come up with, yeah, the only thing I could come up with is, oh, the teachers have it. But even then, like when they are introduced to the bracelet, she's like, it's a prototype to like be out of the school or like whenever you want. So it's like, yeah, that was I would say that's a plot hole maybe, but maybe someone else in
It is. It is a
comments
plot
would
hole.
be able to.
Yeah, maybe some experts would be able to say why that happened. Oh, for people wondering, it's the scene where the main character needs to get the little fucking what was it?
Fifi
The
the
little
fox.
yeah, the little knickknack for the girl, the lolly.
Shoot, I actually
Uh
don't know her name.
oh yeah, another thing I was gonna say. You know, like the gag romance character, the gay guy.
Oh yeah.
I actually felt I thought that was nicer than the rest of the the romantic options. I don't know. I found his scenes, even though they're supposed to be funny, I just thought they were cute. I was like, ah, that's cute. I know you don't think so, but I will say that. That's
What do
my.
you mean? I haven't even given my opinion.
Oh yeah, what's your opinion? Tell me.
I do think it was really nice because he like he predispositioned himself and like just embarrassed himself like in the last scene, you know, when he just unbuckled himself. It's
Yeah,
like I guess you could say like he had more passion than everyone else
yeah,
in
that's what I'm
this like
saying.
love triangle. I will give you that, and yeah,
I just thought he was cuter. Also, I thought he did more cute things.
he did take him out to lunch. That's what I don't get. Like if they liked him so much, why didn't they take him out to lunch when he was like starving? He was eating like a piece of like ramen a
I
day.
guess no, they did know. Yeah,
Yeah, and they still just let him like live in his little poverty circle without any food. Like the only one that even
I don't know.
offered food, the guy that liked them. Oh gosh, I don't
Yeah,
know their names.
me neither. It doesn't matter. Uh, they can tell. But also the sister and the gay guy were my OTPs, which never happened because why would they? I will say okay. Who's your favorite character? Because my favorite character is the sister,
Um,
the big
hmm.
sister.
Well, his name is Toshimitsu Kubo. But I guess favorite character. I don't know. I kind of liked uh Hideyoshi
Oh yeah, Hideyoshi is also a good one
just
in
because
there.
of I don't know if you got this, but like he was like I don't want to say
Trap.
speedwagon, but like every time like they were saying something, you could say that he was like the straight man. Like he would like come in with like a little clever comment and just
He is the
like
most straight man in the show.
yeah.
Everyone else is really gay.
No, I mean like in like you know the comedy term.
I know I'm joking.
Okay.
No, but this show is like mad gay. Like weirdly, like I talked to you about it. I was like, do you think the creator wanted to do a gay thing, but like they just like it wasn't that popular, so he did something else? Because like there are a lot.
No,
Like
yeah,
a lot.
this show is like
suspiciously a lot.
yeah, this show is like it's built like a shoujo, like comedy shoujo, but
Not
like the
shoujo.
comedy shoujo
Shoujo's
is
for
very
girls.
simplistic. Like the like the yaoi and yuri aspects of it are just so like I guess like more
Like this
unique.
is a harem. This is like harem bait for like horny little boys. Yet there's a lot of gay shit in it, which I
Yeah,
appreciate. I
you
like
can
that
see the
aspect of
themes.
it, but it's suspicious. I would say.
I guess you can tell. I mean, I guess you can speculate and just say like, yeah, like
I
that
mean,
was
it's pure
sort of an
speculation,
intention.
but
Yeah,
it's just weird that there it's a common theme in the show. Also, it doesn't like make sense for like one of the jokes because like one of the jokes is that the main character calls the tsundere like, oh, you have a flat chest, you're not attractive, blah 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 blah. But Hideyoshi, which the main character does find attractive, also has no breasts because he's a guy. It's like, how does that make sense?
I do remember something around that sort was mentioned to me by you, and I also thought about it because I'm like, okay, well, you told me about this, so let me keep this in mind. And that's true. Even Aiko, the green haired girl, that's like sporty and stuff.
Yeah.
The one that's always like messing around with Koda, the cameraman.
Yes.
Like
That guy.
even her as well. Her, Hideyoshi,
It's weird.
and Miharu. No, but those two are relatively close to Minami. But of course, like it's just odd. I guess I think they just say girlish charms. That's what they described as to why
I
Hideyoshi
guess.
was
I just
better.
the joke is confused. I would say
I
it's
guess.
mostly just because like whenever the main character calls the Cinderella attractive, it's always about her breasts. And
Yeah.
I guess I. Well, now that I'm thinking about it, I guess you could say like, oh, it's because she doesn't act girlish, and maybe that's why. But like Hideyoshi doesn't even act that girlish either. So
Yeah.
I mean, whatever.
Besides the occasional like fan service scenes.
Yeah, which are the best scenes in the show.
I did think it was pretty sweet how the running gag of Hideyoshi's like gender ambiguity like was just present everywhere. Like even like in in the hot springs.
Oh yeah,
That was a funny gag, like or goof, where like
I do like Hideyoshi.
he had his own restroom and
In
everything.
the My Anime list, Hideyoshi is the most liked character.
Really,
Yeah, he's the highest little hearts.
that's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. What else? What else is there to talk about? The art style? What do you think about the art style?
Okay, I know what you're gonna say. Like you're gonna stick your finger in your throat and be like,
no,
"Ugh," throws
no,
up in
it's
mouth.
not
But
ugly.
I
It's
like
not
it.
ugly. It's okay. It's like
I
anime du
like it.
jour. It's
I
like
think
when I think anime, this is like pretty close to like what I think of like just like sort of yes anime.
like if someone said 2010 anime, this is like the
Yeah, this is just like the
poster
this is
child of 2000.
the medium bar. Like
Yeah, and you know what? I don't mind it. I like it. This is like my
I don't think it
night
looks
type.
bad.
Like you see things
I
like
wouldn't say
Baki
that.
and like Clanad, and those are like the two ends of the spectrum, I guess you could say.
Yeah, Clanad's
There's like
like absolute shit.
there's exceptions like JoJo, of course, but
Yeah.
for the most part, like at least it's not Clanad, but this is like a nice crispy in between that I just like.
All right. I
Yeah.
will say though, I told you about it. I don't like the trading dots.
And I like him, and I didn't even notice
That's
him.
fair. That's
Once
fair
you
to you if
mentioned
you
it,
like them.
yeah, it
But
just all boils down to taste. But
yeah,
when you did
I
say they are distracting, at the
yeah, I
moment I
think
didn't
they're
get it.
distracting.
Yeah, at the moment I didn't get them, but like once you mentioned it, I just kept on getting like okay, and I kept on noticing it. I talked to a friend about it who was also watching it alongside me, and they said ever since you said that they couldn't keep their eyes off it, which I mean I wouldn't agree with, but to a certain extent, yes, your eyes do drift off there once you mention it, which I didn't even think about too much. But once I saw it, I was like, I kind of like it. Like, have you seen that movie Into the Spider-Verse? They kind of have
Yeah.
that to a certain extent. They just kind of
I would say it looks better there.
yeah. They didn't have it as shadows though. They just kind of had it as like an effect for like I guess comics.
Into
Of
the
course.
Spider-Verse looks infinitely better than this show, I would say.
I mean, it was also made a whole decade later, but that's
There are
another
shows that
conversation.
look way better than both that were made in like the 90s and 80s. I think Gunbuster has a better style than like Spider-Verse and this show, in my opinion.
Well, I
Especially
haven't
because I
seen
really like the old.
Gunbuster, but I'll take
Well,
your
you can
word
look
for
up a picture of it. But I really like the old anime aesthetic. Even if it's like a shit show, I at least appreciate the like. Oh, I like how it look. Fucking Martin, piece of shit.
it.
You suck. I hate you.
Look, let's start with episode 1. I made a little
Do
excerpt
it.
of what I got from episode 1.
Okay.
The scene opens up in a slightly predictable turn, in which it is revealed that the protagonist is actually extremely stupid and is cast into the lowest class. This
You can relate to
happens
that.
when what?
You can relate to that.
Okay. It is then revealed that in this school, Fumizaki Academy, the entrance exams determine what class level one is put in, and relatively, the quality of the classroom equipment is as good as the class rank they are put in, while Class A has access to
Are
amazing
you reading like
amenities.
the Wikipedia summary?
No, I typed this like from
Oh,
memory,
okay.
or
Okay.
yeah, from what I remember, I typed it, so I'm just reading what I typed. Such as a snack bar, lounge, karaoke machine, flat screen television. Oh, I should have said televisions, but whatever, and a full library. Decreasing in quality we reach rock bottom, seemingly. This is a hint to later on in the series where their class equipment just gets worse, but whatever. Class F, that is the one on the other side of the building. Class F's classroom is actually an old classroom of Class E, as can be seen because it's actually a Class E sign, but they just like posted like they put a post-it that puts F in it, so it implies that it's a hand-me-down classroom. As can be seen from the first few minutes in the classroom, it can be noticed that the students study in short tables with broken mats, and even the air conditioning is non-existent. The protagonist meets the.
What's the point of this?
I'm just giving them like a little rundown of episode 1.
Well, people who watch the show already know that.
Well, like, what if you're like, oh, what's this Baka test show? Maybe let me check out a podcast by some nobodies.
I guess, yeah. Okay, continue.
The protagonist is greeted by a tsundere archetype character, Minami, the wily but often treacherous best friend Ryuji, the pervy friend Koda, Hideyoshi, the amazing character whose gender is normally goofed on, and surprising to the group, the stereotypical big boob nice girl Himeji. While it is later revealed that the protagonist did something nice for both Minami and Himeji that would make them like him, Himeji was not put in this class because of her grades, but because she was sick. I don't know if you want to explain more throughout the series, but this is a rundown of episode
No.
1. It's a okay introduction, I would say.
I mean, if you don't like episode 1, it doesn't get better. If you like episode 1, then watch the rest because you're gonna like it. If you liked episode 1, because it's just
My
more of the same.
ideology is like episode 1 is always going to be the world building episode. So
I guess
watch like 1.5 episodes. Like if episode 2
I don't
half
follow
of it
that.
doesn't interest you,
I don't follow
like
like that sort of thing.
really.
Yeah. Like if I think sometimes I'll just like be halfway into an anime and I'm like, okay, this sucks. I turn it off. I'm not even gonna finish the episode. Sometimes. Most of the time I don't. Most of the time I finish, but sometimes
I
I don't.
am a very, I would say, generous person when it comes to shows. I like forgive them up to the 3rd episode, but like
I can't waste my time with that shit. I got things to do. I'm an important guy. Hello? Martino? What happened? Martin, I got to edit this part out, Martin.
hello.
What happened?
My microphone disconnected.
Aren't I gonna edit that out now?
No, it's fine. Just leave it there.
I'm not gonna leave it in. I'm gonna edit that out. Okay, whatever. It doesn't take
okay,
that.
Thanks.
But
okay. Speaking about generosity, I gave this an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
And I know that seems generous, but come on, it's my favorite. I feel like
you coward. If it's your favorite, just call it 10 out of 10.
I can't call it a 10 out of 10 because to some extent I'm like, you know what? This could be like a little bit more funny or a little bit more serious. Because you're right.
It's your favorite.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be a 10 out of 10 if it's my favorite.
In your eyes, it is 10 out of 10. In your heart.
in my heart.
In your heart of hearts.
Well, my heart doesn't think in numbers. It thinks
in
I like
heart. This. In your heart. If you know the reference to that, you get a cookie. Type it in the chat rooms.
Okay, fine. Realistically, 8 out of 10. In my heart, it's a 10 out of 10. I noticed you gave it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah,
and if you I'm not gonna mention names, but
that is me being generous, though.
I see.
That sounds like such an asshole thing to say.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I won't hold grudges, but let's just go based on. That's not true.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. based on just an unspecified website where they rank it just based on how much they like it. They give it a from 1 to 10.
Isn't it 7?
They give it a rating. It's a 7.48. So it's basically a 7.5. So it's like.
Well, Martin, you gotta go based on my anime list because my anime list is the biggest American thing, and it's 7.64 out of 10.
Well, basically around there.
Generally, people like it. A lot of people like it. Even the most modern reviews, usually they rate it highly.
Yeah. So my ranking would be an 8 out of 10. Miguel's would be a 6 out of 10.
Solid.
And the community gives it a 7.5 out of 10. But let's just say 7 for the sake of just keeping it on one number. So it's like
it's well received. It's a well received show. It was successful. It got a second season and a bunch of OVAs.
Mostly like we have we're on like we're like sandwiched in between in our scores. I guess for me it's like the nostalgia factor, which I will have to work on. That's why
I did watch this. I watched this around the same age you did. I just don't really have nostalgia for it.
Well, maybe it's like you just didn't enjoy it as much at that point. I guess.
I thought I probably would have given it an 8 out of 10 at the time, but I was a dumb shit. So. Look, Martin. One of these days, I'll put a show that I don't think it might not be that good anymore, but I liked it a lot. One of these days, and then we can shit on that.
To be fair, you're a very you're a very critical person. Like I feel like one of these shows that like to you isn't very good anymore, but you still like it. I might even like it myself just because I'm very.
One of those shows is Camphor, which is infamously hated. I love that show though. When I was a baby, I watched it all the time. Maybe we'll review it one day.
Yeah.
Is that all we have to say? I think that's.
I mean, any like last words?
I'm trying to think. If there's anything like I missed that I want to say about the show.
Okay, well then I'll give my last Caesar moment.
Caesar.
Well, all in all, there's lots of references to other anime and
that's true.
pop culture, which is very interesting because it gives you like a glimpse of like what was, I guess, cool in the 2010s or like what one
in the
would
creator's mind.
Yeah. It's like if you were a anime fan in the 2010 and you were like in the loop with pop culture, you would probably understand most of them. So it's kind of interesting to see how much.
Understand more of them now because there's a lot of JoJo references which got popular in the West recently.
That's true, but yeah, it's just like I think that's pretty cool. It's like I guess like a little.
What did you say?
Like a little injection of culture. Of like.
I mean, that's most light novels have references to other anime shit.
Yeah.
It's how they're built upon.
And it's very funny and charming in its own way. And for its time, the concept was pretty interesting. It's like just
but Persona was out. Persona was made before this.
Yeah, but it's not like these avatars are like defeating some monsters. They're just having fun and just being like little avatars that can like manifest into the real world.
I mean, Persona 1? Persona 1? I would say Persona 1's more heartwarming than the show. I don't get what's heartwarming about it. Like, nothing warms the cockles of my heart when I was watching this. Even Gunbuster.
It's just interesting to see high school students, be high school students and have like cartoon-like fun.
Yeah, but there are like a lot of shows that do that better, I would say. Like K-on's masterful. K-on's a literal 10 out of 10.
Does that concept way better.
But I know you'll never watch it because you're filthy. Okay.
Andrew just put bias.
I am biased. What do you mean? This whole thing is biased. This is purely opinionated. Of course it's biased.
Wow, why are you telling me it's Andrew? Andrew says...
Best? No. Keon's 10 10. Andrew's a bitch. Andrew's our friend and he's typing in the chat right now.
Yeah. I don't know why he muted him. Oh, yeah. Because you forced him.
He's not allowed to talk.
You forced him down the... This is our guest, which is not allowed to talk because we have him hostage.
Not allowed to. Well, he hasn't watched the anime recently, and he can't comment on it.
Yeah, so he's just in the cellar. We're not allowing him to give any...
my final thoughts. If you like this anime, good for you. I just don't like it very much. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a... I guess I would say it's like the sandwich of anime. It's like it's a pretty good. It's like pretty good on a good day.
Like the basic meal, like
it's yeah, but like
easy
at
to
the end of the day,
easy to
Yeah, it's like if you want to enter anime, and you're like, hey, let me see how anime was 10 years ago. Like that's a good way to start. It's good for the brain. You're not stuck thinking about, hey, why is this person strangling a girl that he just kissed? You're not stuck thinking about. You're not stuck thinking about metaphors. You're just having fun, mindless fun. That's.
I wouldn't describe it as mindless. I would, but wait. Sorry, I was distracted. I would say more like I said to you previously. I think something like Konosuba is more mindless because it just doesn't even try to be emotional most of the time. I mean, there's very few emotional moments in the show, and even then, they're like very short.
I guess.
Although I do see the value. I do see the value of just like, I just want to feel good, have fun, laugh, and stuff. I would say that ultimately, in my opinion, I find more valuable in things that just like make me think about them like years later, and sort of just ponder upon. Like that's like, I'll just be pacing around my room and I'll think about that scene from Evangelion and be like, gosh, I'm thinking about it now.
Then don't watch anime. Read books that have.
What do you mean? What read books?
Just read books about philosophy and shit. If that's what you want.
What?
Like if like you want to think about things like years on end.
I want that thing in the anime aesthetic. That's why I watch anime. Because I like the archetypes that they build upon. I like animation in general.
To be fair, the reason Baka was even brought up was because one of our friends started talking about it, and I just went on a little nostalgic rant, and you just said, "Oh yeah, it's shit."
I didn't say it was shit.
You said it was bad.
No,
you changed your opinion. Yeah, you changed your opinion later.
My opinion. I always had the opinion that's a 6 out of 10. You're a liar. I do like Baka to Test. I just not that much. Are we at the end? I feel like we're at the end.
Yeah, well, I guess we already had the finishing thoughts, so I guess it's a closing time.
It's closing time.
Read Boogie Pop. Go on Amazon.com. Buy the omnibuses of Boogie Pop. Buy them. I want them to translate the rest of the series. They translated 6 books already. I don't know if they're going to translate any more, but I want them, so go buy them, please.
This is not a joke. I want them. I love Boogie Pop. What do you have
If
to
you
say?
can, watch Baka to Test.
No.
It's a good way to.
I don't even care if you read it or hate it. Just buy
it. If you want to be introduced to anime or introduce your friend to anime, and they're into romance things,
I think My Hero Academia would be better.
It would be better, but if they're into romance,
they're better romance shows. Love is War would be better.
Yeah, but there's just so many things happening that it's just easier to digest in a rom-com. If you want to do a rom-com that's just easy to digest, do it.
Love is War is pretty easy to digest.
But it makes a lot of jokes that you just have to like know anime to even get.
Do you? I don't think you do. Which ones? In Love is War?
Yeah.
Well, like what? I can't like.
Okay.
I feel like Baka to Test makes more anime references.
Yeah, but you don't need to know them to like the show because it's
what is Love is War? I don't even remember there being that many references.
What are you referring to?
Okay, let's start. When he made the whole little elaborate thing, he like poses the thief. I'm pretty sure that was like a Persona reference.
Hey, that's like later on in the manga.
Okay, that's still a show.
No, it isn't. That's like gonna be in season 3, I think.
Actually, I don't know. I've not ever been watching the anime, so I don't know if they even got there yet.
I hope no one that's watching Love is War is.
Whatever. They don't even know what we're referring to.
Yeah, I guess. Whatever. Okay. Baka to Test is okay. If you don't want to watch it, that's fine. If you hate it, all right. Your opinion, and I'll respect that. But don't knock on
your right to have it, but I think you're dumb. Show's alright. Show's alright.
Yeah, the show's alright. You should definitely check it out. But I don't expect everyone to like it because, of course, it's like
read just like Bookie Pop. Read Bookie Pop. Watch Evangelion. Read the old shit that's based. Old good, bad, new bad. Even though Baka to Test is like 10 years old. It's not old enough to be good.
Yeah, and continue watching us, please.
Oh yeah, okay. Vote in the comments who was based or who was cringed, and that'll decide something for the next episode. Bye.
We won't tell you though, because that's a mystery.